1.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Bronx Talks. The Yankees hold on and defeat the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 4-3. Wow, it was certainly a fun game. The Yankees got off to a hot start, went up 4-0. 3 runs in the first inning there, and then you're feeling good. And the Cardinals crept back into it a little bit, but the Yankees were able to hold on and get the victory. Luis Heel started this game for the Yankees. I thought he pitched pretty solid, Christian. His velocity was up. He did have some runners on, and I think the walks have been a bit of an issue since he's come off the injured list. But he went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. 83 pitches. He gave up the back-to-back doubles there that ended his night. I was kind of hoping the Yankees would leave him in because I think the score was 4-1 at that point. And, I thought it'd be nice to, get him those 6 innings. But, Yankees did hold on. David Bednar shut the door, and we'll get some stats on that in a bit. But David Bednar has just been unbelievable in the closer role. He's really put his big boy pants on, and he's closed out some very important games for the New York Yankees. And Cody Bellinger with another miraculous, fantastic play to end the game. Cody Bellinger he's been perfect this year. There's nothing more you
Yeah.
could ask out of him. He's been absolutely perfect. I need to see him in pinstripes for years to come. Christian, how are you feeling?
Good. Good win today. Good bounce back after the final game versus the Twins. And we're kind of in that realm where it's like just win games, and it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter if things go wrong. It's just score more runs than the other team, and we move
Yeah.
up in the standings, again, according to what other teams do. So good win today. And, it is such a different feeling, Ryan, knowing David Bednar is coming into the game than Devin Williams. And I know partially that is because David Bednar is new and we haven't really seen him blow up. I know the Marlins game, but we've kind of all just ignored that. So I get it's a different feeling, but it does feel different. I'll say that. And I do feel confident going into the 9th inning now. Like, all right, we have our closer. He's going to throw his stuff. And I get it. He's not going to have his A stuff every time, but it's a different feeling. So I'm happy about that. And, we kind of have seen the formula that can work, over this past week. So it's encouraging is what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to, I think, get that bullpen in line, for hopefully what is postseason games for the New York Yankees. And I think they're starting to figure out something that works. Interesting to see what role Weaver is going to have. Doval has struggled. You nailed it on the head. I think you said it, but he's really just been hit or miss. He's either on or he's not on. So we'll see if that fixes itself out. Which I think the Yankees really need him to figure that out, take that bullpen to another level. But bullpen looks good. David Bednar, I'm loving what I'm seeing from David Bednar. He's just had so many big games for the Yankees that he's already closed out. So you like that on that front. And I think what he gave up is it just the 2 runs in Miami since he's been a Yankee? I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And other than that, the
Yeah,
nails.
yeah.
And he doesn't pitch in Miami, so.
Yeah, so the first outing he had in Miami, he gave up 2 runs. Since that Miami outing, he hasn't given up a run in like 6, 7 innings. So yeah, really, really solid stuff there for David Bednar.
Yeah. It's such a weird point in the Yankees season because I feel like the fan base is almost split where I'm totally out on the season and I think they just need a total overhaul and all right, well there's still hope. And I'm on the
Yeah.
side of there's still hope because I truly do still believe in this lineup. But
Yeah.
it's so much like prove it. And I mean, not to jump totally ahead, but I mean, this Boston series that's going to happen beginning this Thursday, that's going to be huge. It's important to win these games because I mean
All right.
we know about the Yankees schedule. We know it's easy, and you have to win those games. But ultimately, it's gonna come down to the games that matter, and that's when we're truly gonna get invested and feel like and know if this team is legit or not. So, it's a good win tonight, but it's just I feel like we're all almost anticipating and waiting for the Yankees to truly prove it.
Yeah, I mean you have to win a big time series. That's something the Yankees haven't done this season. You look at the two Toronto series, the one that, they slipped the division away from or caught the division up, that four-game set in Toronto where they got swept. I mean, that was pathetic. And then when they went back to Toronto, they made like 1,000 errors and lost two out of three. So they haven't, beaten Toronto, a team they've needed to beat. You look at Boston; they just got completely embarrassed every time they've played Boston this series. Sooner or later, you have to beat a club. You have to win a big series. There's no doubt about it. I don't think many Yankee fans are. We're saying we're back, World Series back on when they won two out of three against the Twins. I don't think they're saying that again tonight, but each win is going to be really important for this team. They're now a game and a half up on the Guardians for the final wild card spot. And I think this is going to be like 2021 all over again where every game is going to be super important. Your eyes are going to be glued to the TV and every game's going to feel like a game 7. The pressure is going to be on. All hands on decks. I think the Yankees are going to be really, really aggressive in how they go about trying to win games. We're kind of seeing that already right now. They're playing the get best guys available. The 3-game set when they're facing the Twins, Dominguez didn't even get into the game. You're seeing Austin Wells lose some playing time because he hasn't played well. Like, all hands on deck. You got to win games here. You touched on, some fans being out on the team, and overall that I think that's a fair assessment. Maybe wanting a retool or a rehaul, because look, you thought the Yankees were going to be better coming in the season. You didn't think they'd be a third place team. You didn't think a team with a payroll, above 300 million is going to be holding off the Cleveland Guardians by a thread on August 15th. So I understand that. But at the same time, you're rooting for this team. You want this team to get into the postseason. You want to see what they can do because you never know what can happen. When you get into the dance, you just never know. Like I touched on, I think, in our last episode, if Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton get hot and become the Bash Bros, they could carry you to the postseason. Max Fried and Rodon get right. You get some good starting pitching. The bullpen can hold up. Could carry you through the postseason. So you never know what can happen. Remember in 2023, the Diamondbacks got into the Diamondbacks went to the World Series. How many games they went? What they win? 85 games, something
Yeah,
like that.
they snuck in, and
So you never know what can happen. So you're still rooting this team on, but I think everyone had higher expectations for the Yankees. But here we are, August 15th. You got to try to win games. You got to try to find a way, to win.
yeah,
The
and
trade. Well,
I
okay,
I feel
you
like
go.
it's fair to have your criticism on the team too, because if we were going into the season
Absolutely,
and we were talking about
absolutely.
sneaking into the playoffs and getting hot, yeah, like that would hurt. Yes, Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt got injured. I think that's a huge part of why they haven't been successful. I mean, I think the starting pitching is the root of the problem, and it's tough to lose a Cy Young Award winner and Clark Schmidt, who's showed a lot of promise this season. Uh, it's fair, but at the end of the day, like when I see the stuff on Twitter, Ryan, about, people, all right, Yankees fans hoping to miss the playoffs in hopes that Aaron Boone gets fired. I'm like,
You're
just
not a
just
fan then.
just take a step back. What is your fandom? Or at the end of the day, we're Yankees fans. We're rooting for the Yankees to have success. What does that do? And also, people have to know Aaron Boone getting fired is not going to change that much. So, do I think he's the best manager in the world? No. I think you and me have both shared many criticisms of him, but
Yeah.
it does get to a point where it's just like you gotta win, and that's the
Yeah.
bottom line, and winning cures everything. So I'm still pretty optimistic about the season. I've gone through my low points, but I know that the lineup is there, and that's kind of what still holds me. And my hope is kind of just that the pitching gets hot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't know.
mean, look, I mean, yeah, the thing that really gets me, Christian, like I even try to compare because I'm comparing this team to the 2021 team because they had big expectations. They struggled heavily. They're still a playoff contender, and it's like trending towards the same way. We had so many miserable meltdown games in 2021. I think the Yankees lost 3 games in 2021 where they were a strike away from winning. We had so many meltdown games. We had so many terrible stretches, so many terrible months. We did have that 13-game winning streak, but like even that team like won 13 games. Like the Yankees team hasn't gone on a big run this season where they've strung a bunch of wins together. They haven't beat a big time team. Like there's not a lot to like hold your hat on, but at the same time, not to quote Aaron Boone, but it's right in front of you. Like if you want to make something happen, if you want to do some damage, you do have the opportunity to do that. I think that 4-game set coming up in Boston is really going to show us what this team is made of. I really 100% believe that because Boston's going to be coming in. Boston's what? They have the second wild card. I think things are going to be on full display. It's going to be heated. Yankees, Red Sox, end of the season. I think that's when we will see, is this Yankees team serious? And if they falter and they make a bunch of errors in the field and they look lackadaisical and they look like they don't care, then you're going to sit there and say, hey, this team's shot. But maybe Yankees get hot. They win 3 out of 4. They get a little bit of momentum. They carry that in the postseason. Your mindset's totally different. So I think that series is going to be really important for the Yankees coming up. And Aaron Boone. Fans complain about Aaron Boone, and rightfully so. We've both criticized Aaron Boone a ton. Is Aaron Boone the total ultimate reason why the Yankee season hasn't gone its way so far this year? No, Aaron Boone is not 100% at blame. Is Aaron Boone partially to blame? Probably, yes. I mean, there's a lot of things that have went wrong this season, and you can definitely point some of the blame at the manager. He's not just like a magic fairy that does nothing. So yeah, I mean, rightfully so, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And we're not going to be on here for long, but it's in my mind, it's so much just like it's great that we won today. I'm happy, but I cannot help myself from just looking ahead and let's
Let's dive in.
let's win this Cardinals series. Hopefully we sweep, but we'll see. But
No, Christian,
I just
Yankees
can't
don't
help
sweep.
my
Come on.
yeah I know I just can't help myself from looking at the next series. Please do not get swept at your spring trading facility, and then go win a series against the Red Sox. I mean,
That's gonna be it, bro. I'm telling you.
it is such a big week for the Yankees next week that it's hard to really dial in on these games in St. Louis. So obviously there's games that they have to win, and this was something that I was doing in my head the other day, Ryan.
Yeah.
What what teams have the Yankees beat in the postseason outside of the AL Central since
The Oak
2017?
the Oakland A's in the wild card game. That's it.
And is that so? What was I got stuck on? Was 2019 the Indians?
No, they beat the Twins in the divisional round
Okay,
and lost
yes.
to
And
Houston.
then 2018 was
They beat Oakland in the wild card game in the Bronx and then lost to Boston in the divisional.
yeah. So I was doing that battle in my head the other day, and who knows how much truth there is to that, but because I know you can't just fully discard a division. Like we would be mad if the Yankees lost to the Guardians or the Twins, but I legitimately think there is some truth to other teams playing the Yankees better. And who knows what's really behind that? What's the reason? But I'm nervous and excited to see these upcoming division matchups and, eventually if we do get in the playoffs, how it plays out. Like do I think we can beat an Astros team right now? I don't know. If we get hot, yeah. If not, I don't know.
I mean,
It's a
look,
little scary.
it is scary. I mean, that's what I keep going on. The Yankees haven't proven they can done it. They haven't shown they could do it this year. So, like, I mean, the the games against Boston and Toronto were a flat out utter failure. I mean, for them to play like that was just absolutely disgusting and humiliating. Look, I don't know right now. I mean, I'm not so confident, but maybe when Yarbrough, Cruz come back and all the pieces start to blend and Judge can play the outfield and you got Stanton playing regularly, that will help. And Giancarlo Stanton's just been unreal. And the Yankees schedule does get easier, right? That we touched on, but it's not like perfect. So we got 2 games left with the Cardinals. Then we got 2 games against the Tampa Bay Rays at the in George M. Steinbrenner. And then we got a huge 4-game series in the Bronx versus the Red Sox. Huge 4-game series. Then the Nationals come to town for 3. And then we go to Chicago for a 4-game set. But this is the little bit of the gauntlet in the easy, soft schedule because then the Yankees travel for Houston for 3. The Blue Jays come to us for 3. And then we play the Tigers for 3. And then we play the Red Sox for 3. All of those teams are in the playoffs. All of those teams are the best teams in the American League, and the Yankees got them back to back to back to back. So, even though the schedule is easy and they'll wrap up with Twins, Orioles, White Sox, Orioles, that is a little bit of a gauntlet there where they're going to be playing all those playoff teams. I feel like that stretch is going to like show you what this team is made of. And I think those games are going to be really, really important if the Yankees are trying to get into the postseason. I just don't like another thing that concerns me too, Christian, is I don't know if this team can like break off and win like 5, 6, 7 in a row. Like
Well,
have
I
they
mean,
done that?
well, every team can. I mean,
Yeah, but like, do you
it's
think
how
they're
hot
built
you
like?
get. Uh,
Yeah, but do you think they haven't done that all year? That was like like they couldn't put together winning streaks last year.
uh, yeah, but I don't have too many problems with last year's team other than I mean how it ended, which was embarrassing. So I don't know. I mean, it's a really weird spot for Yankees fans. I mean, to kind of sum it up, because it's like obviously we're fans and the Yankees are probably going to be in a playoff position, so we're going to have something to root for. It's a little different from 2023, but also in the back of our minds, we can't ignore what we've seen and what
Yeah.
we've seen for the past 7 years. So it's kind of just like cheer on the Yankees and hope they win, cuz
Yep.
there's a lot of flaws in the games that they've played. Obviously, I mean, what we touched on earlier, the The pitching injuries don't help, but there is a I don't know. It just feels weird, Ryan, because like Yanks just won a nice game against the Cardinals, but it's tough to get really that excited because it feels like a lot of false hope.
I mean, even how they played tonight. I mean, they had so many runners in scoring position. They score 4 runs and don't score for the rest of the game. Like they just, they just, they really just do need like a kick in the butt. I'm sorry, they just do need like a come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I really think the parallels though between this team and the 2021 team are really, really similar in terms of how the season has gone. And I think it's starting to wind up in that same place. I mean, the 2021 team went to the playoffs, but Christian, how flawed was that team? Really flawed. And
Yeah,
they had so many meltdowns late in games, so many meltdowns. Like they would find ways to lose. We've seen that a lot this year with this team. But the hope is you get in the playoffs, you can do some damage. I sent you that clip. It's like that one, if you guys have seen Rocky 6, it's like that, the final Rocky movie. It's like that one Rocky movie where he's retired and then tries to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. And he's in the training montage, and his trainer's like, you can't beat him with speed because you don't have any speed. You can't try to spar him and just punch him close because you're too weak. He's like, the only way to win is to just build strength and punch him as hard as you can. Like I feel like that's how the Yankees are built, like to win in the postseason. It's just like, look, you just got to get hot and just mash your way through October, like we saw last year. We'll see if that happens. I feel like last year, Stan got hot and it worked out, but in previous years it hadn't. Even though Stan had been pretty good, it just hadn't worked out. So we'll see what
yeah.
happens. But if the Yankees do miss the postseason, or if the Yankees get to the postseason and get eliminated in the first round, I do think a managerial change needs to happen.
I agree, and I do think it would happen, but uh, who knows? Who knows what
Wait,
difference it would make?
wait, not. I know we're about to end it, but did you see Brian Cashman's quotes? Is he being like held hostage or something?
No,
I'm
I
dead
didn't.
serious,
I didn't see.
dude. So Brian Cashman is in St. Louis, and he was talking to the media. And Christian, I have no idea what this guy is talking about. So Cashman was asked, Cashman was in support of how Boone handles struggling players. He supports like how Boone goes about supporting a struggling player. And he said, I'm not an advocate of becoming Randy Macho Man Savage or John Cena from WWE and providing a power drive to finish off the victim. What the fuck does that mean? He had another weird quote. I don't know. Maybe he's sending like signals like he's being held hostage. I don't know what that even means.
I don't know either. Um, should we do one voicemail and end it?
Oh yeah, we totally forgot the voicemails. We'll do the yeah, which one you want to do?
It's our guy.
917?
Yes, sir. The
Which
first one.
one?
First one. Or the first one he sent. Ready?
Hey guys,
Yeah.
it's Chris. I was speaking to you guys over DMs, and I was on the Instagram live a couple days ago. But I have a couple notes for why I think that the Yankees do struggle. I mean, they've seen some success in the past few games, but personally, I'm just not super hopeful because, again, a series against the Twins, they're not a great team. They gave up at the trade deadline. I think everyone knows that. And the Cardinals, again, not a super competitive team, so I'm a little cautious, especially after today when we almost collapsed. Thank God we have David Bednar. I mean, it just kind of shows that if we had Williams on the squad, like, how many games were actually winnable. It's ridiculous. But yeah, just getting to my notes, I'm probably going to get cut off because there's like a timer. But yeah, first of all, Jazz has some offensive struggles. He struggles on taking pitches. He likes to ambush the pitcher, but that results in kind of these quick at bats where he takes one pitch, doesn't even take a pitch, just swings, pops up, pulls it too hard and grounds into the dirt just to, you make the out. Same things as Wells. He hasn't been great. He's been lost to the plate. I don't even know what his problem is. Rice is infinitely better. He needs a couple games in AAA. So yeah, coaching in general has been an issue. I mean, I've talked about this plenty of times, so I'm not going to really go into this into depth, but yeah. There was that game against the Astros a couple days ago where they didn't want to bring in Tim Hill, keep Luke Weaver in, and not put in Leiter Jr. Devin Williams was the only choice. Fundamentally, that's a management issue. I think that, Boone obviously picking Devin Williams, he was only picking from a list that he was given from management, and that was the only available option to him at that point. Why the fuck can't we keep Weaver in there? Why can't we put Mark Leiter Jr. in that situation? Why not Tim Hill? It seems that management is reluctant to look at Tim Hill as a valid option. If I do get cut off, I'm sending in a second call because I'm almost done with this. But another issue that we have is that this team is all power. It's already known that this is a long ball team, but something that kind of surprised me this year is that the team puts OPS on the board and not batting average. I know batting average is an outdated stat, but the fact that we're putting OPS up there kind of shows what we're focusing on. The team looks so much infinitely better, especially among offensive struggles when you put OPS on the board instead of batting average. I'm talking about the scoreboard. When you go to Yankee Stadium, they put the OPS up. And, I love Cabby Bunting. He was a great pickup at the trade deadline, and Cabby Bunting is exciting to see.
Oh,
Thanks for the call.
So, yeah, sorry about getting cut off, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's 1,000 different angles you can look at this team. 1,000 different people to blame. It's probably me and Christian's fault at the end of the day.
A little bit.
So, a little bit. Yep. All right, so that's gonna be it, guys. And Yankees back at it tomorrow against the Cardinals. And let's get some wins together. We've won. Christian, the Yankees have won 3 out of their last 4. Let's keep it moving.
We can start butter knifing. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. All right. I feel like one of the new male cheerleaders in the NFL. All right. Wrap it up. Let's go, Yanks. Peace.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.